11 years ago, I made what has probably turned out to be the most important decision of my life. I decided that for 1 year, I would see what it was like to be without alcohol. Would my life be any better? Would my running be any better? And while this will definitely not be a video vilifying alcohol and telling you all to stop drinking it, it will be a video about just how dramatic and far-reaching the benefits turned out to be for me. For my running, but also my life. It's been 11 years without alcohol now, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, I will never drink it again. It's just too good without it. And as I see it, my running and life have improved in 9 very distinct ways. We'll start the benefits where I start my day, after a good night's sleep. And it's now known to me where it wasn't before that alcohol is a sleep disruptor. And you may think it helps you to drop off, and it does, but that's it. After that, it's pure disruption. And from the moment I gave it up, my sleep has been so much more consistent. And I've grown to really love my morning routine after a good night's sleep. And leading on from good quality sleep is good quality training. And it's on the weekends where I see the most benefit because it's where I tend to train in the morning. When you get up and you feel good, you're also more likely to make those positive decisions, like going out to run. And once you're out there, the issues that plague you after a few drinks, they simply aren't there.
The main thing for me was that no longer was I feeling the effects of alcohol in any way on any run, so there was no additional tiredness, there was no nausea or headaches, there was no general feeling of malaise, or even that I have to do this run, I've got to grit my way through it. The runs just became more joyful.
And the third benefit, and perhaps the most genius at being able to keep you doing it long term, is the runner's high and the associated clarity of thought after exercise. Particularly in the morning, the endorphins flow completely uninhibited by any other drug in the system like alcohol. It can actually feel pretty euphoric, and it leads me to not only feeling super focused for the day ahead, which benefits my job and my life, but it always leaves me wanting more, being drawn back because the feeling is so addictive. It's really hard to describe, but I'm pretty sure that as a runner, you're gonna know what I mean. It's like flow state in life, thanks to flow state in running. It's clarity. And as much as I think this is the biggest benefit, I also think it's the hardest sell. Waking up in the morning, trusting that going for a run, even when you feel tired, even when you don't want to, is going to set you up for the day and is going to make you feel amazing. It sets you up for the day and you know it, but you gotta trust the process. But what's not a trust thing is the fact that since stopping any alcohol, I've pretty much not gained a kilogram for about 11 years. Or more accurately, let's say my body shape just hasn't changed. I still fit clothes that I would have worn 10 to 15 years ago, and much to Mary's frustration still do. And with a slowing metabolism, then credit has to go to the fact that there are a lot fewer empty calories going into my body. And the thing is, I don't really weigh myself anyway. We don't have scales in the house. Maybe when I go to a hotel or something, I'll jump on the scales and see what I'm at. But I tend to judge my weight and where I'm at based on the fact that I still fit into the same clothes that I fitted into 20 years ago. There's been no change in my waist size, no change in my t-shirt size. So I know that my weight has maintained throughout this time, really. My body shape hasn't changed. And here's the thing about quitting something. Anything you want to give up, and it could be drinking, but it could be smoking, it could be phone use, it could be biting your nails, whatever. If you manage to keep it up, that discipline bleeds into other areas of your life. You're able to see that you can do it and make decisions like run regularly, tired or not, busy or not, because you see that you can do it in other areas of your life. So by quitting alcohol, I was actually telling myself I can do this, and it was easier than I thought. So I just ran more regularly because I knew I could. I cut phone usage down because I knew I could. And we all know when it comes to running, consistency is the key. So I was much more likely to be able to get up in the morning and make those hard runs happen, the early ones, or perhaps the ones where I didn't feel like I wanted to do it, the discipline I'd learned and the confidence I'd got from it allowed me to make my running much more consistent. And with that consistency comes increased self-belief. You're gonna feel it. It's not an arrogance thing, but you're going to start to see signs in training and racing that it's all worth it. Maybe your heart rate is going to stay lower for a given pace, or you feel in flow state more often in your training and your racing. Maybe you even pick up a few age group wins or places from time to time. But let's be clear, although that is nice, it's never why we do this. Our confidence comes, and I've said it before, by building an undeniable stack of evidence that we are who we say we are. Getting rid of alcohol, which by the way is a depressant, makes me feel better about myself and me as a runner on so many levels, and it keeps me from going back to it. I just started really believing in myself as a person and identifying solely as a runner, and making therefore the decisions that runners do, like not drinking and investing in strength and conditioning and training sessions and going to races. And here's the benefit you all wanted to hear, and is a big benefit to your running. You're gonna be richer. I mean, I never was a big drinker, so I don't think I spent lots and lots of money on drinking, but if you take an average week, maybe I would have gone out on a Friday or Saturday night, I would have spent maybe 40 or 50 quid, or maybe that was over a week if I had a couple of beers after work, and it's not hard to then very quickly see that 50 quid a week over 1 month, about 200 quid, take that to a year, 2,000, but you don't need me to do the maths, you can do the maths yourself, but it very quickly accumulates, and that's a lot of money that you can repurpose elsewhere for things that you're really passionate about that I wouldn't call wasted money. Whatever the actual savings end up being, you're going to be able to funnel them into something more meaningful, like running gear, new trainers, race entries, investing in yourself. And if I'm not buying things that are associated with running, I'm buying things that are associated with running, as in the YouTube channel about running, so I'm always looking for the next thing that I can buy technology-wise as well as running-wise. And I can tell you one thing I feel certain about is that I am far less injury-prone now than before quitting. And I know it's a combination of factors rather than just one, but I can remember hungover runs, I can remember missed gym sessions, I can remember that tired footing when I was out on a longer run, and that doesn't happen anymore. And I still pick up injuries, I just believe that I pick up less injuries than I did when I was drinking. But I wouldn't necessarily say stopping drinking just caused a reduction in injuries. I think it's everything that has benefited me from stopping drinking has led to the reduction of injury. And you know, also I probably recover quicker from my injuries because I don't drink alcohol. And all of these benefits funnel your running in one direction, ultimately to a higher level of performance. And how you define performance, that's really on you, but I can tell you that pretty much every measurable metric is going to improve without alcohol. You'll be able to run further, or run faster, or more, or less painfully, and you'll do better in races, and I'd guess in life too. My running's still improving, and I'm 11 years in, and I'm excited to see where it's going to take me. I did this all for me, but I want to share the wins with you. Ultimately, if you love drinking alcohol, I'm not here to tell you not to do that. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose of the video is to give you a perspective of someone on the other side that has given it up if you're thinking about doing it. If you're thinking that that might be the way for you in your running, I can tell you, definitely you need to give it a try. Give it a try and you might never go back. Even if you try for a month at first, you might not miss it. That's what happened with me. And if it did help you make any decision in any way, then consider subscribing to the channel. And I'm going to leave a video here which is 10 things runners should know but probably don't, and I'm glad that I learned them and can pass them on to you. See you Sunday.